Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm James and today we'll be doing these 10mm Sasquatch miniatures from Argatoria. Starting off with a wraithbone undercoat, mainly using contrast paints and then highlighting up with some layer paints as well. Starting off here with Goleman's flesh. What we're concentrating on here is just the sort of skin items. So the face, the chest, the hands, the feet, and also the butt cheeks on the back. Don't forget the butt cheeks. But yep, just starting off with a nice little coating of Goleman's flesh before moving on to the next part. Okay, with that done, it's time to move on to the next colour, and the next colour we're using is snakebite leather. I like to go slightly lighter with my colours, especially when doing 10mm models. You could have easily done a much darker brown if you wanted to, but I do like the snakebite leather colour. And for that, what we're doing here, we're just painting all the fur, which is pretty much the rest of the model. Once we've done with the snakebite, there is only one other colour to do, which will be the sort of tusk that it's carrying as a weapon, and then it's just a case of layering up at this point. So yeah, we use 3 different contrast paints and then 3 different layer paints just to bring it all up again. So just take your time, go around. There's lots of fur on the model, so don't forget any part of it. I think at some point I noticed that I did forget to do one of the legs, so keep an eye out for that within the video. I did a batch painted there's 4 of these in the box, all different poses, but ultimately they're all the same paint job, so I batch painted all 4 of these at the same time. Did manage to get them all done to the standard that you'll see later on, within a couple of hours, to be fair. I had to get a fan on them to dry them, to speak. There you go, missed a slide. I did have to get the fan on them just to sort of speed up the drying process. Because it probably takes longer for them to dry than it does to actually paint them. But yeah, easy enough to knock out 4 of them in a night. So moving on here, we're just doing the tusk now, and what I did is I used Skeleton Horde contrast paint here. I dilute my Skeleton Horde, usually 50-50 with some contrast medium. It just gives it a slightly paler look. Skeleton Horde out the pot can be a little dark in my opinion, and it probably would have looked too similar to the Sasquatch fur. So with that done, what I did is just put some PVA glue on the base and dipped it into some sand, and then I'm going to give the whole thing a going over with Agrax Earthshade, and that's everything: the skin, flesh, the base, bone, absolutely everything's going to get a wash with the Agrax Earthshade. This is just to dull it all down and tie it all together, but it's also to give that coating on the sand as well on the base, just to stop it from popping them off when we're handling them. The little white ridge on the feet there doesn't take very well, so I'm trying to disguise it the best I can. I may have to just have to paint them in something later on. So moving on to the last stages now, we're just going to dry brush things. We've got a dry brush here of Banelord Brown. I'm just really picking up all the highlights and giving the fur a different colour, different texture. it's really well sculpted, so it's very easy to get a coating on them and make them stand out. Next dry brush is more gas bone, and I'm just dry brushing the sand on the base here, just to pick out the highlights on that. There you go. Now we're moving into the skin, and for that I used Cadian Flesh Tone, I think it's called, Cadian Flesh. And we're just picking out the sort of raised areas in the face, the chest, the fingers, and the toes, just to sort of brighten it up a little bit, highlight it, make it stand out just that little bit more. To be fair, this is actually really therapeutic, and that well sculptured that it's easy to see where you need to do the highlights, and it just goes like a dream. Every time I've done this with any of the models that I've done from the range, it just goes like a dream, and it makes such a difference. I did move on to using a wet palette at this point, because I like to sort of have a lot more control and not put it on too thick. Yeah, you can do a little highlight on his butt cheeks. Yeah. And then the last one is just picking out the bone. And again, I used, I think it was wraith bone. Any bone colour will do. You can use Screaming Skull, I suppose, or anything, any sort of bone colour. I'm just sort of picking up the highlights, but not getting full coverage, so there's still that bit of darkness showing through at the bottom. And so here they are in all their glory. These are the 4 that I did all in one sitting. Like I say, it only took a couple of hours to knock these out, and a lot of that was sort of drying time, especially using washes. All I've done here is I put a couple of tufts on the base, just to cover up some of the patchy areas where the sand didn't take, or something like that. But it looks effective. It's good. It looks like they're coming out of the brush. But yeah, here we are. Wonderful models. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more. Hopefully more painting tutorials on the Argatoria range coming soon as I paint them up, getting ready for a game.